So for this one, we are going to make, we're going to use Revolve. We're going to make this ring-like shape that you see here. And we're going to actually learn how to make an ellipse as well. I'm not sure the way I'm going to show you to do the ellipse is the best way, to be honest with you, but I think it'll work well enough. All right, so you're going to start with a new part and a 2D sketch, of course. And we're going to make our ellipse. So drop down, go to where it's on the circle menu. So for you, it'll look like this right now. You drop it down, you go to ellipse. And go to your center point. We'll click there. And what it'll do is it'll create a line. This is going to be what they call the major axis of your ellipse, the long axis. We'll make it vertical. And we'll just go up here and click, and we'll dimension in a second. Now I got my ellipse. Now, do I want it to be, I guess I could do it that way, but I'm going to go somewhere in here and click again. And now I have to dimension it. So, let's go look at our drawing that we have. So we need our ellipse to be 2 inches this way and 0.75 this way. Now the 2 inches is going to be easy. We hit dimension, and if we go from, let's see if it'll let us go. If I click anywhere on the ellipse, let's do over here. It gives me half of that distance. So if the total length of this thing is 2 inches, that means this is going to be, you got it, 1 inch. There we go. Now, the distance from here to here, I'm going to have to do this way. I'm going to make 2 points. I'm going to call them construction points. I'm going to put 2 points, and I'm going to make them one here, right where the x-axis intersects my ellipse, and one over here.
Good morning, William Penn High School, and welcome to Tuesday, January.
You'll have to bear with the announcements.
The sun is always shining inside the building despite what's happening outside. My friends, I'm glad you're here because we have so much to do, so much work, so many things to accomplish, so many great things to achieve. So let's get started.
I'll try to hold the mic as close as I can. And what we're going to do, I think, is I'm going to dimension the distance between those points. Let's see if I can do that. So from this point, notice the point, I'll zoom in, notice just the point shows up white, that little X. Distance from there to this point, and I'm going to tell it I want that distance to be 0.75. And that changed the ellipse because they're connected, so that should work. Now, there's probably some other features of this that's preventing us from being, it says it needs 2 dimensions still. Here's where we're going to get around that. We're going to click this button up here. I'm going to get out of construction. I'm going to click this button here, click on your ellipse, and hit done. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Boom. What if I hit just apply? There it is. So I click on that, and then I click apply. It locks it into place. But in order to revolve this, I need an axis. And so I'm going to create a construction line. So I click on construction because this isn't going to matter that much. And I'm going to go over to line, and I'm going to make a vertical line somewhere over here. Just make sure it's vertical. Make sure that the angle value is 90 degrees, like you see there. Now I'm going to dimension it. Now, I think if I look at my drawing, I need that distance from the center of my, because what I'm making is this center axis, from the center to the inside edge of the ellipse to be 1.625. So I'm going to go dimension from here to this point here that I made. That's going to be 1.625. Let's make sure I got that right. 1.625 from the center to that inside edge of the ellipse. Yep. All right. And then I'm going to finish my sketch. We are going to revolve. So right-click, go to revolve. It already chooses the only face available. So now we're doing our axis, and that's what this line is for. This is going to be our axis. So I click there, and it revolves it by default all the way around, and I've made my ring. Let's set this, let's set the top view is actually as the front. So we'll set current view as front, save it. I'm calling it 2.2 because it's the second time I've done this part. Save, and then we're going to make our drawing. And when you make your drawing, you know the steps at this point. But what I'm going to show you is how to do this. Because what I've done here in the drawing is a cross section. I've cut this thing in half. This dotted line says, hey, I've cut this in half, and you're looking at the piece after I've cut it in half. It's called a cross section. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I go to my part, and I open a new drawing. Edit sheet. A, of course. Delete that. Put that in. Fill that in as you know you should. And then we'll go ahead and place our base. And I'm going to place the right side and the isometric, but I'm not going to put anything up here. Hit OK. And of course, I got to change this. Now, I'm going to cut this in half. So I go to, it's here somewhere, section. Click on that. I click anywhere around here. See how that red square shows up? That means I'm just going to click that just so it knows which drawing I want to cut. And then I'm going to go to where that little green dot shows up. That's the middle of my shape. So I click there once. I click over to the other green dot on the other side. I click again. And I'll move down in this case. But don't click. Right click. I'll say it again. Right click and hit continue. And it creates this view. And we're going to put it up here. I'm going to move this label over here. And now you can dimension it just like you see in the finished one of the paper that you have in front of you. You can dimension these things just like you see here. Okay, make sure you fill this out, and then, of course, print it as a PDF, or save it as a PDF through the print function, and then submit it to Schoology. Thank you very much.